going to jump into the neighborhoods. I get asked all the time, what are the top neighborhoods in this particular area? And that's so hard to answer because it's really based on lifestyle and what you're looking for in a community. But today, I'm going to go down a public list that I found online of the top 3 neighborhoods in one of the surrounding counties in RVA. Stay tuned. Hey y'all, I'm Holly. If you want to know everything that the Richmond Metro Area has to offer, well, you have come to the right place. We're going to dive into what it's like to work, live, and play right here in RVA. Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell so you'll receive notifications each time I upload a new video. I have folks reaching out to me all the time that are looking to move to the Richmond Metro or maybe just have questions, and I love hearing from y'all. So give me a call or shoot me a text at 804-380-6041 or send me an email, whichever is most convenient. I've had quite a few clients recently asking me about Hanover County, so I thought it would be a fun thing to explore some of the top subdivisions to live in Hanover County. We'll of course get to some of the other surrounding counties, so if you're thinking about those, stay tuned for future videos. But today we're going to take a look at the map, see where the different subdivisions are located. Also, we will take a look at what's surrounding them, things to do in the area. I'll give you my perspective of being a native Richmonder, but I'll also include some information from neighbors that live in those subdivisions that they've learned or maybe like or find a little bit challenging. And lastly, we'll take a look at the schools. So stay tuned for all of that until the end. Before we jump in, I will mention that I did have to film this on different days because of the weather. But one thing about Richmond, if you don't like the weather currently, stick around for a little bit and it'll change. So you're going to see some different rainy days versus sunny days as we go through. We're going to start with number 3 on Style Weekly's list. And like I said, this is from the internet and just their perspective. There are many other subdivisions in this area, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you about your lifestyle to figure out which one might be the best for you. But number 3 is Cedarly Park. So the map shows Hanover County. Cedarly Park is right in this area. It's actually part of Glen Allen. Now, don't be confused by that because in other videos I've said Glen Allen is part of Henrico County, which it is. So that's just another added element to get used to. As we drive through the subdivision, I'm going to share a little bit about it with you. But be on the lookout. You might even see a rainbow or two as we could travel through. So this development was built or started back in 2000. Most of the homes in the area are between 2,000 and 2,500 square feet, although there are several that are larger. And you're going to see a combination of different styles. Some first floor primary living, which is great if that's what you are interested in, but also your other styles as well, and lots of big front porches, which is oftentimes a very attractive element for my clients. The houses are on about a 1/4 acre lot, so if you were looking for more space, this might not be the subdivision for you. There are some common areas though that you can utilize and enjoy. There's a playground, some soccer goals, lots of big open fields, even some gathering places if you wanted to get together with family, friends, or neighbors, or maybe just sit out and enjoy a lovely evening with the pretty Richmond weather in the spring and fall especially. This subdivision does not have a pool. That is one drawback that I heard from some of the community members. They were looking forward to a pool, but this one did not have that. So that might be something to consider if you are definitely interested in being in one of those pool communities. However, because there is no pool and some other reasons, your HOA is going to be a little bit less than some of the other subdivisions in the area and that we're going to explore today. It's an annual HOA, and I believe it's a little over $350 a year for that. So again, something to consider when you're budgeting and to talk to your lender about. Another drawback that I heard was that the streets are a little narrow, especially in some spots. So there's a median that goes up the center of the roadway, and of course traffic going one way is on one side and going the other way is on the other side. So at points it can be very narrow and you might not be able to park a car along the side of the road. So you might want to consider that and be sure that you have enough parking for your vehicles. Another drawback that I saw when we were touring around is that when you are living on one of the streets with that median, oftentimes you have to drive up in the opposite direction that you're really ultimately going and make a U-turn to go back out to get onto the main roads. Now, speaking of those main roads, there are some kind of curvy, windy roads that lead up to the subdivision, one lane going one way, one lane going the other way. So that might be something to consider, especially during the times that Richmond does have snow, which isn't very often, but something still to consider. Now let's hop over and take a look at the schools. So this subdivision is currently zoned to attend Elmont Elementary, Liberty Middle School, and Patrick Henry High School. I always recommend to check the current school zones for the subdivisions because they can change from time to time, and I will leave that link in the description below for your convenience. In the state of Virginia, students are given what's called Standards of Learning Test, or SOLs. The scores for each school can be accessed online through the Department of Education's webpage. If you want additional information about those tests, I'll leave a link in the description below that will take you to that information. I'm going to share my screen now and show you all how to pull up the information on the schools for this particular subdivision, and I'll also leave the link in the description below in case you want to check out some other schools. So you'll see that the most recent information is from 2018-2019 school year. That's because due to COVID, the SOL tests were not given last school year. And of course, the data for this school year has not come out yet. So you would click on the school year and then the county, the school that you wish to pull the information for, and then scroll down and click on the pass rate information. There are also other reports that you can pull if you are interested. And then click on submit, and it'll take a second to process, but then you'll see that it pulls up the pass rate and then the school is listed here in the middle. We'll start with Elmont Elementary. Now, I did the same thing with Liberty Middle School, and here are the results from the web page. And then the last one is Patrick Henry High School. If you haven't already done so, be sure to click on the like button. Also, let me know in the comments below, is there a particular area or subdivision that you're thinking about for your move to RVA? Love to hear from you. So now let's take a look at the second subdivision, and that's King's Charter. King's Charter is just across 95 in the Attlee area. So let's talk about amenities. This subdivision has tons to offer. A beautiful clubhouse with fitness and weight room, 2 swimming pools, 2 kiddie pools, 5 lighted tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, a basketball court, and even a sand volleyball area. There's also a venue for weddings and receptions. One drawback to this subdivision and having all these amenities, of course, is the HOA. There's a monthly HOA fee for this particular development, so you want to keep that in mind when you're considering King's Charter. Be sure to budget that in. There's always something going on in this community. Everything from St. Patrick's Day celebrations to Easter egg hunts with a special appearance from the Easter Bunny to Oktoberfest and even 4th of July celebrations. It's also not unusual to see neighbors getting together for a summer cookout. We have friends that live in the subdivision and their cul-de-sac always gets together and barbecues. They do hamburgers, hot dogs, pulled pork, and everybody brings a side dish. It's super fun for all. You might be wondering what houses in this subdivision look like. Well, come on, let me show you around. This subdivision was established back in 1980 and today consists of approximately 900 single-family homes. You're going to see a variety of different styles and sizes. They range anywhere from about 1,400 square feet on the smaller end to about 4,000 square feet on the larger end. The yards feature mature trees and shrubbery. One thing that often confuses people in subdivisions such as these is the name of the subdivision is King's Charter, but then there are smaller subsections within the subdivision. So you could see a sign that says Charter Lake or Ivy Banks, just to give you a couple examples. Another thing to watch out for are the cars that are parked on the street. Now, some of these streets are pretty good width, but others are a little narrow. And when you add some parked cars along the edges, that could really cause a traffic jam if you have someone coming on the other side. Also, be on the lookout for people walking or dogs or people riding their bicycles. You may not be able to see them around the cars. Another question that I often get are about the schools. This subdivision is currently zoned to attend Cool Spring Elementary, Chickahominy Middle, and Atlee High School. These are all within the Hanover County Public School System, which has received 10 National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence Awards. Now, I always recommend to check the current zoning before purchasing in a subdivision because this can change. I'll leave the link in the description below for your convenience. There are tons of restaurants in this area, everything from fast food to local restaurants. If you're looking for a local spot, two of my favorites are Hangry Joe's Hot Chicken and Rise and Shine Diner. If you're in the mood for wings and don't mind driving a little bit further north into Ashland, Sports Page is the place for you. In my opinion, their wings are the very best in town. Be sure to try their California Gold and hot wings. So they started building this subdivision back in the 1980s and today holds about 900 homes. Now, one question that I commonly get from my clients is, so Holly, if I buy a house in this area, what is there to do within a few minutes drive for me and my family? So there's tons to do. You are in the heart of Hanover County here. So you're just minutes from King's Dominion, which is an amusement park with all sorts of different rides and thrill levels. You also have lots of nature activities. There's fishing, hiking, bicycling. Even in this community, you have some bicycle trails. There's also a Bass Pro Shop, so for those outdoor enthusiasts, you might want to take a trip there and spend some time or have a meal at their restaurant. You're also minutes from downtown Richmond, where you can find lots of history and museums and culture and arts. Even the ballet and some Broadway musicals come to town. And now for the top subdivision as ranked by Style Weekly, Ash Creek. Ash Creek is a little bit farther out towards the 301 side of things. Now this subdivision, like many others, does have an HOA. It is quarterly here, so not as bad as some of those with monthly. It offers a clubhouse, fitness center, pool, playground, the picnic area that you see behind me, as well as the basketball courts over in this direction, and some other things. There are about 500 homes in the Ash Creek subdivision, and most of them were built in the 1990s and early 2000s. You're going to see again a variety of different styles scattered throughout the streets. Currently, this subdivision is zoned to attend the same middle and high school, Chickahominy Middle and Atlee High School, that King's Charter goes to, but it's a different elementary school. It's Pearson Corner Elementary School. Don't forget, you can check out the school SOL information like I showed you earlier. Another resource that you all can access is a website called Great Schools. Now, this is a website where parents write in their opinions of the schools. So keep that in mind, that it is strictly opinion information. One element of feedback that I heard from the neighbors is the traffic. Traffic in this area, especially during those peak times of people going to work and coming home, can be a little crazy because the street that the subdivision is off of is again a two-lane road, one going in one direction and one going in the other. And one of the neighbors commented on how traffic really backs up there in the mornings with people trying to get out of the subdivision. So something to think about, and might want to plan a couple extra minutes to your commute if you're heading out to downtown Richmond or the West End or Chesterfield. They also commented on the amenities, though, of the subdivision. They love the pool that is right there in the neighborhood. Ash Creek is just down the road from one of my favorite pizza places in all of the Richmond Metro Area, and one of the best bakeries in my opinion. Giovanni's is a family-owned Italian restaurant, and I think they truly do have the best pizza in town. They also have a number of other pasta dishes and sub sandwiches, which are all very good. But in my opinion, their pizza stands out above the rest. And just down the mall, the strip mall from them, is a bakery called Williams Bakery. And oh my goodness, you walk in the door and the smells really almost add 10 pounds. But they offer all sorts of different cakes and pies and donuts and pastries. They also do specialty cakes. So if you are thinking about weddings or baby showers, be sure to check them out because they really do have fabulous sweet treats. So what do you think? Does this look like a place that you could work, live, and play in RVA? Come join me. I'd love to show you around. Give me a call or shoot me a text at 804-380-6041 or send me an email, whichever is most convenient.